So you prefer more Kosice, seems like, than
Yes.
Budapest.
Which is really good because you have like almost one-to-one contact with the professors. We have a lot of people from India, from France, from Norway, Sweden, and a lot of other places. So it's really an international community.
Wow.
We do go out, we celebrate each other's festivals. I would prefer studying here because even looking back right now, I would have better applied here and started from first year here.
Okay. Does Dubai recognize your degree?
Yes. We were all really happy with it. And one of the things was that the student secretary here is really cooperative and they'll respond really quick. We take care of other people's pets when they're traveling around.
What would be your suggestion to someone who is like planning to study abroad at UVLF, Budapest, anywhere? What would be your suggestion for them?
My suggestion would be just go for it. If you think you can, just go for it, because it's not going to be easy in the start, and it's never been easy for anyone, I could say, probably, but you will get it in the end.
Hello and welcome to MedHead, your medical study guide for Europe. Today we have a very special guest with us, Jahnvi. Thanks, Jahnvi, for joining us in the video.
Thank you so much for having me here.
So we are going to discuss about Jahnvi. She is a student at UVLF, which is the veterinary faculty at Kosice. And we are going to discuss details about how she ended up here. She is a transfer student from Budapest, how her courses, fees, living expenses, social life, living expenses in general. So everything in and out we are going to discuss in detail. So without further ado, let's get in the video. So Jahnvi, first things first, you're from India, right? If I'm not mistaken?
Yes.
Which part of India are you from?
I'm from Gujarat, and both my parents are from Gujarat as well, but I have been born and brought up in Dubai.
Okay.
So I could say that I have spent majority of my life in Dubai.
Nice. So your high school was also in Dubai?
Yes, my high school was in Dubai, and it's just due to holidays and all, we used to go back to India to visit our families.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. And if I can ask, like, what was your subject combination back then at the high school?
So I was in the Indian curriculum before, but after my 9th grade, I shifted to the British curriculum, due to which I had around 8 subjects in my IGCSE, and moving forward in my AS and A-level, I started focusing on my career subjects. So I had a combination of biology, chemistry, psychology and BTech science, because I was said that physics is not the main subject which is needed for veterinary medicine, due to which I decided to drop it after IGCSE.
So you were sure you were going to start with veterinary after finishing the high school?
It was since childhood when I was sure that I want to get into medicine. But when I was growing up, and my love and care for animals is what led you towards veterinary medicine. Okay,
that's cool. And you first ended up in Budapest, right?
Yes.
So how did you find about the university? What led your interest to? You studied at Corvinus or?
I was at the University of Veterinary Medicine, Budapest.
Okay.
And it was during COVID when we were trying to search for universities. And I just had few universities in mind because US was not in my option.
Okay.
And I had UK and Budapest as my other option. But Budapest entries do start early. So I did give my entrance exam around May, after which my results came out and the interview was taken and it was a success, due to which I decided to go ahead with University of Veterinary Medicine, Budapest, because I do have certain friends who are studying there. And they're seniors and all that, and some of them have graduated from there. So I did hear good things about it. So I thought it would be a good option to go ahead with it.
The exam you mentioned, that's like you gave it online or you had to come in person?
Yes. So since it was COVID, it was online, and they are still continuing it online.
Okay.
Where we were given an entrance exam for biology and chemistry.
Okay.
And it was followed by an interview with one of the professors of the university.
That's interesting. So you got in the Budapest University, and you started in which year, the university there?
I started in my first year, which was in September 2021.
Okay, and you mentioned there is like some early intake or something like that. So or like early deadline for the application. So by when should students be applying to study there?
So if I'm not wrong, their first examination period starts around April.
Okay.
And they do have around 4 to 5 dates, and they do go on till August, depending on how many seats are available. But it's better to apply earlier and reserve your seats, because the moment you get your admissions, you have about a week or two to confirm your admission and pay the deposit. So it's better to go further.
Interesting. But what led you choose like Budapest instead of the UK?
So Budapest, one good thing is that it's a combined degree of straight up DVM. So it was like a 5.5 years in which you get the doctorate degree instead of doing a bachelor's separate, master's separate.
And in 1 or 2 years, how many years did you transfer to the Kosice faculty?
I did 2 years, and I transferred in September 2023 to the university over here.
And what led you to transfer here?
So there were many ups and downs there. There were many good points too about the university, due to which we do have regrets of leaving it. But at the same time, they were a bit strict with certain subjects.
Okay.
And we could see that the amount of practical knowledge we get, the practical experiences were way less there compared to here.
I see.
And that led to us taking the right decision in the right year, because I feel like once you enter into 3rd and 4th year, it does get intense, due to which transferring then would be a bit tricky, because you're already in the flow of the studies over there. That's why we chose the decision to move here.
And like, how was the admission process as a transfer student in Kosice?
It was actually really smooth, and we were all really happy with it. And one of the things was that the student secretary here is really cooperative, and they'll respond really quick, and they're really kind, and they'll help you how much ever they can. So as a transfer student, all we had to do was what the regular students do. We had to fill out the forms, then talk to our university to send them the transcripts, and submit the forms in with the other documents which were needed through the email. And they would get back to us in a few days, and we were allowed to choose which entrance examination dates we want.
Okay, so you had to give another entrance for Kosice. All right. And what were the subjects like for the entrance in Kosice?
So the entrance exam was almost the same as Budapest here, but it was a bit simple here, because we had the entrance exam in biology and chemistry, but it was just the entrance exam which was online, and we didn't have any interviews.
Okay, interesting. And with the like fee structure, if we compare it, like how does it compare like Budapest versus Kosice?
So being an international student, sometimes it's not that easy to get scholarships in such places. And obviously, since you're international students, you're holding a different passport, your fees do change. But there was a really good thing when we moved here, that the fee structure was really less. So we are paying roughly around 8,500 to 9,000 euros. Whereas in Budapest, the fees was 12,000 euros per year.
Okay, that's interesting. And was fees one of the concerning factor, like you chose like Kosice, or was it more about the subjects?
Not really. Like, to be honest, like being from a family where I'm the only child, I've been privileged to do whatever is the best for me. So money was never the factor, but it was just that getting the best education and turning out to be the best doctor.
Okay, that's really cool. And in terms of courses, how does it look like? How does it compare like Budapest and Kosice? Like you mentioned that it's more harder there, like with a few subjects more theoretical, but with Kosice, how do you see the difference here?
So the subjects are almost the same. It's just that the years vary, because some of the subjects which we did over there in 3rd year, we are doing that over here in 2nd year. But I feel like there's a lot more practical experiences way ahead, because in Budapest, 2 years were normally based on theoretical, but here there are certain subjects in 2nd year and 1st year and all where we get like hands-on experience with the animals, like, and there are a lot of animals and not just dogs and horses and all that. We were able to experience with dogs, horses, goats, sheep. So it was much more practical based, I would say, here. And when it comes to examination, they do prepare us from first year itself in the way of oral examinations.
Okay.
Like almost all our subjects are oral exams here.
Okay.
Whereas in Budapest, it was more like theoretical based and all that.
Okay, interesting.
Which I feel is really helpful when you go in the outer world.
That's true. That's true. But like actually when you joined in here compared to Budapest, so was it more like you mentioned something with the subjects being transferred, and also like until third year you can choose any subject. Can you maybe elaborate a bit on that?
Yes. So Budapest has a firewall system.
Okay.
In which the firewall falls after second year, fourth year and fifth year, where if you haven't passed any single subject from first 2 years, you cannot proceed to third year, and you need to take a year off.
Oh, wow.
Where you go inactive and you need to complete the subject, and then you can proceed to the next year.
Okay.
And if you don't complete it in certain chances, they will kick you out of the university.
Okay.
But over here, it's not like that. Until you meet the credit requirements for a certain year, and a certain subject is not a prerequisite to another subject,
Okay.
you can move forward with a subject. Supposingly, if you haven't completed a subject in first year and you don't need it until third year for any other subject, you can keep retaking the subject until third year.
Oh, interesting. That's really cool.
And one of the other things which was a bit of a surprise to us was that if you don't complete a subject in 5 tries, in 5 examination tries in Budapest, they'll make you retake the entire subject, but you have to pay a fee for it. And it wasn't a small amount.
Okay.
But here what we have heard is when you retake a subject, they don't make you pay for it, and you can just retake it in your normal tuition fee.
Okay, that's really cool. That's really nice. So you prefer more Kosice, seems like, than
Yes.
Budapest, at least for the university.
Because more than like stressing about the exams and all, here we are actually learning the subject and enjoying it.
So more practical approach
Yeah.
as well. That's really nice. In terms of intake, you mentioned that there are like this fall intake or September intake. So is it the same for both the universities?
No, we just have one intake in September.
For both the
Yes.
universities, okay. And when you're actually like planning, let's say like planning like higher studies or something, is it like a recognized degree, like both the universities around the globe?
Yes, they are recognized all over Europe, and some of the other countries do recognize them as well.
Does Dubai recognize your degree?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So you can practice as after graduating
Yeah,
here
I
and back
can.
there. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Now let's speak like a little more about like the social part of the life. So let's say like the class size. How does the class size look like?
So the class size did get a bit intense in Budapest.
Okay.
Because when I was in second year and when my juniors joined in, there were almost 110 students
Oh, wow.
who joined in.
With one professor.
In one class, yes, with one professor in the international batch. And after a while, we got to know that there were not that many seats in the class, due to which they moved us half online and half in person.
My God. Okay.
And over here, when we compare it, we have around 70 students in first year and 45, 50 students in the later years, which is really good because you have like almost one-to-one contact with the professors.
Okay.
And they do pay attention to what queries you have and all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Actually, like smaller class size, you will get more attention from the
Yes.
professors and everyone. And is your class like quite international?
It is quite international because we have a lot of people from India, from France, from Norway, Sweden, and a lot of other places. So it's really an international community.
Wow, that's really cool. And do you have like some social life with them, actually?
We do hang out on certain events. We do go out. We celebrate each other's festivals.
Nice.
Like a few days back, we had the Norwegian National Day.
Okay.
And there was a culture program where we participated, like we went and we enjoyed it with our Norwegian friends.
Wow, that's really cool. Was it like actually hard to make friends here, or how was it?
So I'm more of an extroverted person, due to which it's really easy for me to socialize. And I kind of like it when I socialize because I like being around people, getting to know them and all. So it wasn't that difficult for me.
Okay, do you have some Slovak friends though?
Yes, I do. And it was all because of the clubs that we have in the university,
Okay.
due to which I found really good Slovak friends and they're really helpful.
What sort of clubs?
So
Is
we
it the
have,
party clubs?
no, so we have various educational clubs, you could say, such as the breeding club, the falconry club, the equaterra, the cat club, where you get to like experience what all would you learn in it.
Okay. And that's interesting. That's interesting. So that's where you and the like the international students and the Slovak students are like meeting at a common point and like
Yes.
performing some activities and stuff like that.
Yes.
It's like weekly you attend these clubs? Or?
So it's like at the start of the semester, you can register into which club interests you. And then for a year or how many years you want, you're part of that club with a certain group of people. And you plan up the activities. Like I'm part of the breeding club where we breed rabbits, guinea pigs and birds and all that. So we have a set community of people who participated in it. So we share our duties and like get together every week and like take care of the animals. And that's how we all meet as well.
Did you have something like this back at Budapest?
No, unfortunately, we didn't have any sort of clubs over there, which was kind of a disappointment because all you do is study. And you don't have any other extracurricular activities in that sense in the university itself.
Yeah, I mean, you need to be a bit like practical, otherwise it'll end up too nerdy.
Yes.
But anyway, like in terms of social life, other than the university and the, like, let's say, related to studies, like do you also like go out or like, I don't know, hang out, go for drinks and stuff with your friends?
We do
Fridays?
that. It's comparatively less compared to Budapest, I would say, since Budapest was the main city, it was the capital, so it was a lot more hyped up compared to here. But we do go here like once in a while and on like certain occasions, such as New Year's and all that, with friends in the old town. We just go around in the bars and all that and just sit and chill for a while.
Okay.
And if we say it in a way, we even go out, since it's filled with nature, we go out on hikes and all that there too.
That's really nice.
Since it's a lot more greener here, I would say. So you're more closer to the environment.
That's actually true. That's actually true because, I mean, like, if you go to more major cities like the capitals, they are mostly like this rock and cement and concrete cities. And then like Kosice is more of nature. You can see the nature on the back.
Yeah, which kind of like was really a good point for us because many people say us that why do you find it so happy here? Why are you happy here? Why do you like it so much? But for us, like I have born and brought up in Dubai, then I moved to Budapest and both were like proper city lives. So after coming here, it just felt so peaceful and it felt like you're closer to nature for a while.
I understand you because I have the same feeling. Last few years, like I traveled as well, like my dad had a transferable job and last few years I was in Calcutta. That's like my native place as well. And it's 15 million people, so it's pretty big. And then I come to Kosice, I'm like, wow, this is so peaceful, so nice, quite. Yeah, it's very different.
That's true.
Yeah, and in terms of like living expenses, because Budapest is like a capital and like also touristic city, very much. So in terms of living expenses, how does it look like?
So since like COVID was there, the prices were pretty low. But then once like post-COVID, we could say that the inflation took over everywhere. And we honestly don't see a huge difference
with the living expenses
here and there, because it almost comes to the same prices. Like even if we see our accommodation and all that, it's almost totals up to the same cost.
Okay. Also, you mean like food, transportation, everything?
Yes.
Okay. But maybe social life might be a little more expensive there, or?
Social life, we could say it was a bit more expensive there, since as you said that it was a touristy place and it's a capital. So going into social events and like social places, it did cost a bit.
Makes sense. But in terms of like living expenses, how much are you spending, if you don't mind me asking here?
So my living expenses comes to roughly around 400 euros.
Wow, including accommodation.
500 euros per month.
Wow.
because
That's
my
amazing.
accommodation is around 350 euros.
That's like in dormitory or in flat?
No, in flats.
Okay. Are you in a shared apartment?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
sharing an apartment with two of my other colleagues, and it comes to around 350-ish, which is almost the same for us. And apart from that, all my other expenses is not that much, we could say, since it's a small city. So it all sums up to around 450, 500 euros.
And in terms of like food, how are you able to manage in 150 euros?
So I would say I was actually really happy when I came here in terms of food, because I'm a vegetarian.
Oh,
And
okay.
Budapest, there were not many vegetarian options, but I did find a lot of vegetarian and vegan options here. But
Really?
it's mainly when it comes to food, I'm more of a cooking at home person than ordering in.
Makes sense.
So it did save up a lot, and at the same time, I get the food which I prefer.
It makes sense because like if you are eating outside, a mistake I did, it's like you spend like 500-600 on food
Definitely.
alone, like because one meal costs you like 10 euros and then you are eating at least 2 times a day and 600 euros, there you go. So
That's true.
yeah, that's actually good to cook at home. Did you learn cooking back at home or you learned it here?
So cooking was my passion at the same time. I did like it, so it was like a hobby to me. And during COVID, there was a lot of free time, so all me and my mother did was cook.
Okay,
So
okay.
that did help me out a lot.
Makes sense. But are you planning to stay after this, like after you finish your studies in Europe, or you want to move?
I'm not sure yet. Probably I would want to stay a bit in Europe for a while, because that's what my end goal is. But at the same time, looking back, since I'm the only child, I would kind of want to move back home for a few years too.
But that's like in Dubai or in
In
India?
Dubai, to my family, just to spend some time with them too. And at the same time, I would want to gain some experiences in Dubai as well. And then come back to Europe for my specialization and like working and my further life.
Nice, nice. That's really nice. So you want to finish, go back, spend few years,
Come back,
come
yeah.
back again, and then expand your life. When you spoke about the living expenses, which is like, okay, like 500 euros, that's like really cool. I have to appreciate that. I don't have even close to that. We made a video actually like some time back about my living expenses. Actually, not sometime. It might be like 3 years back or 4 years back with Peter, our friend. And I told about my living expenses, especially because of food. And it was like, boom. And then you're managing in 500 euros. So it is possible to do it. But also, I think like a part of that you can like manage with part-time work and stuff. Do you do any part-time work?
Not really over here yet, because one of our barriers is the Slovak language sometimes, because our intentions are to work in cafes where obviously Slovak is needed
Yeah.
to serve the customers well. So we are in the process of learning Slovak, but meanwhile, what we have been doing in Budapest, we have been continuing that here too, which is the pet sitting job, in which we take care of other people's pets when they are traveling around. And it kind of interests us as well, since we are in the veterinary facility and we kind of like animals. So it's always a joy to be around them and to open our house doors to them.
Okay, and how did you find about like how did you get this job or find it?
So it was like when we were in Budapest, and I myself have a cat and all. So when we traveling for holidays, we would be like, where do we leave it? So we would leave it to other people, and obviously you don't leave it for free. You do pay a charge for it. So that's how we started slowly doing it ourselves too.
Okay, so you like write to some like university group and stuff if someone
Yes.
Okay.
We do post it on our university groups, on any social medias,
Okay.
that we are here and we are here for this much time. So if you're traveling, you can leave your little ones at our place.
Okay, okay, that's pretty cool actually. I guess like students from other faculties can also give it a try. Like it sounds like a fun job.
It is. And at the same time, you're providing a shelter to the little ones.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. If let's say you were 4 years back in the scenario, like you're applying from a high school, like someone who's watching the video right now, what would you suggest, like Budapest or Kosice?
So
You can be brutally honest.
it again depends on person to person, because Budapest is not bad.
Just tell Kosice.
At the same time, I would prefer here.
Okay, thank you. That's what we were looking for.
I would prefer studying here, because even looking back right now, I would have better applied here and
Okay.
started from first year here.
Okay. Is it because of the practical experience?
Yes, and the way those professors are, the way the students are, and the way you just interact with people and you grow. So I would have loved to grow from before in that. But you could say that Budapest wasn't a bad experience too, because it turned me into who I am today, and it made me learn the ups and downs of my life.
Nice. But actually, like many students have this query, like when you're actually like studying in Europe, especially the European Union, like professors have some issues with like language or English and so on. Did you face it ever?
No, I haven't. Like, after coming here also, I haven't faced that issue anytime, because the professors are pretty good at the language.
Okay.
And they are able to communicate their knowledge well to us, I would say.
Okay, okay. That's cool. What would be your suggestion to someone who is like planning to study abroad at UVLF, Budapest, anywhere? What would be your suggestion for them?
My suggestion would be just go for it. If you think you can, just go for it, because it's not going to be easy in the start, and it's never been easy for anyone, I could say, probably, but you will get it in the end.
Okay, okay.
And it's a good way to socialize and grow yourself as well.
Weren't you scared to come abroad? You came at the tender age of 18, right?
Yes, I came at the tender age of 18, and it was midway during COVID where my parents were not allowed to come drop me.
Oh, wow.
So it was all by myself. So it was scary, but at the same time, it was a new adventure. It was a goal which I always wanted to. So it was exciting at the same time.
Nice, nice, nice. So the fire led you to break through.
Yes.
That's nice. All right. So thanks a lot, Jahnvi, for sharing your experience, sharing all the insights. It might be helpful for someone watching the video. And please give it a thumbs up if you like the video. For such content, subscribe to our channel, and leave comments of the universities you would like us to cover, the topics you would like us to cover. Especially, we are going to make an updated video about living expenses. As you heard, Jahnvi's is like 500. Mine is like, I don't want to disclose it, but it's like, let's say twice as much like it went when even I was a student, just because I didn't cook at home. So we're going to discuss like multiple perspectives of how living expenses are working. But in general, like if you want to study abroad, like this is the place for you. Secondly, affordable fees, as you heard from Jahnvi, because it's compared to the US, UK, it's like much more affordable. You still have budget to try out different projects, different internships, travel a lot and so on. Not only spend everything on the fees and then rely on your education loan and stuff. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. The email will be provided in the description for Study in Slovakia and MedHead. We are also doing some proprietary courses for medical studies. So feel free to reach out to us, have some consultation. What would you like to study? What's your fees and so on? And we can guide you with different universities around Europe. And until next time, thanks for watching. See you. Do widzenia.